Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're going to take a look at the Bowmore Astin Martin 22-year-old, Dustin. I didn't know they made cars.
Apparently, Bowmore is actually the maker of some not so reliable but beautiful and incredibly performing cars.
They are beautiful.
God,
you know me, I'm a car guy.
Same.
And you're a car guy.
Dude.
I've always spent a lot of money on cars. I got an LT1 Camaro. Dustin's got a Beamer. I mean, we love cars. We talk about cars. Not as much as we talk about whiskey, but we talk about cars. And I would love to have a new Aston Martin.
Oh, my God.
Woo.
Or a vintage one.
I had a buddy growing up with, his dad was pretty well off, and he had an Alfa Romeo and a Jaguar, and I was like, in both convertibles, I'm like, you're pretty much my
Jaguar from back in those days was so gorgeous. God.
Dust a little emblem on this bad boy. Beautiful emblem for a cheap little box.
Yeah, the box is not very sturdy for such a heavy medallion there, but hey, whatever.
All right, so for those of you who don't know what the Aston Martin series is, it's just some type of collaboration with that and the car manufacturer. I read up about it. Basically, they just
Bunch of marketing BS.
a bunch of marketing BS. Let's get to you guys what you really want to know. It is Bowmore Distillery, aged 22 years, bottled at cask strength of 51.5%. I looked for a little while. I couldn't find the exact cask maturation, but I believe it's a mix of both bourbon and sherry. At least that would be my guess.
That's kind of been the feeling I've gotten. It could be refill and first fill sherry. I'm pretty sure there's a little bourbon in there. I know for sure sherry cask could be used.
Dustin, open this up and try this for you. When we were talking about this, when I was looking at buying this bottle, we saw that the 21 was pretty well thought of from the previous year's release, and so we thought, we'll take a chance on this 22-year-old. We looked a couple up in the whiskey base. This was pretty well thought of, so I decided to go with this one. And I had one drink of it. I wasn't disappointed, but I'm excited to see what you think. And it comes in a lovely glass, half black, half clear here at the top. And like we've said many times, Dustin, we are still waiting to be blown away by a Bowmore, even me and Isle fans.
Yeah, Bowmore hasn't done it for us yet, but we've been told, get them older, get them cask strength. We did both.
Right, and that was definitely a selling point. I saw the Black Bowmore guy selling ounce samples for $500 an ounce.
Yeah, I'd rather get a bottle.
Yeah, hard to pull the trigger on that. It would be nice to have Black Bowmore 1964, but today we've got the Astin Martin 22. Half as old?
Not very black.
I believe this is natural color and unchill filtered, which you also don't get from Bowmore a lot. I was talking to the Montreal whiskey assassin when I got this one delivered and had a couple drinks, and he said, Bowmore, one of my favorite distilleries. And I said, yeah, I don't know about that. And he said, worst core range in the business of Scotch. And I said, Casey, I cannot disagree with you. Their core range is a horror show.
It's a joke, yeah. But I tell you what, this is interesting. Although I got to say, I hope I got the right whiskey on this one, but I am getting the apple notes that I think you mentioned before.
Yeah, so
Smoky apple.
Yeah, when I had this before, I was getting some beautiful tart diced green apple.
Yeah.
Really, really, to me, I thought like leather came out here pretty quick. Mm-hmm. A lot of good spice, a lot of salinity in that spice.
Bourbon leather, we talk a lot about how bourbons bring leather. It really reminds me of an older bourbon kind of note coming through.
Really, really nice, rich, oaky, leathery note.
A little bit of gasoline notes.
A little bit, yep. Good ABV, kind of driving that whole experience. But this comes off of me as one of the peatier Bowmores I've ever tried. I had a couple of the Devil's Casks. I haven't experienced Bowmore quite as in depth as I have other distilleries by any stretch of the imagination.
It's cleaner on the peat. I mean, it's more smoke wood versus plasticine that's been burned.
Yes. Yeah. And I guess that was always my problem with the Bowmore smoke.
There's a hint of that Bowmore sour, acidic note that turns into plasticine, but it's not gone there. It's just kind of a funky, earthy note, which
it still seems
I like funky earth.
Yeah, it still seems like something you could get at a campfire naturally without throwing in a plastic product.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's some leaves that were really funky. They got smoked. I don't know. They were wet.
Actually, leaves is wet, damp leaves being cooked or being smoked is something I actually get in this. When I was sniffing on this whiskey the first time, this brought me back to being a kid. Back in Rock Island, Illinois, burning leaves in the early 80s, because that's what people did back in those days, is they burned the leaves on the side. Mm-hmm. I get a little bit of that wet leaf as my dad's turning over, trying to make it, trying to get it to catch that smoke coming through the wet, damp fall leaves.
Well, that was not what I was expecting.
What are you picking up on the palate, Dustin?
Well, my first thought was kind of a inappropriate word to use, but smooth. It was very like it came in.
Around me, anyway.
It was very like, relaxing, easy. It was sweet. Had a little bit of peat, and then I swallowed it and like it's a weird, funky, like dirty mint, like black charred pepper, treacle, anise. Black licorice kind of notes for sure. I mean, even like a little bit of root beer kind of thing going on. Wow, I was so not ready for that. I'm a little taken aback. Because initially, I mean, the arrival is just kind of, it's nice, it's pleasant, it's easy drinking, it's sweet, and a little bit of smoke. And I was thinking, okay, whatever. And wow, was that finished? Like, not what I was ready for. Wow. I gotta take a moment here.
The second you swallow, salt and leather come up in a huge wallop. But you're right. Initial arrival is so light fruit, silk. Mm-hmm. It doesn't taste like any alcohol whatsoever, and it does not prepare you for what's about to happen the second you swallow it. The second you swallow it, you get car leather.
Yeah.
I have, I conditioned my leather seats. I did that about a week or two ago. Conditioner, when you condition leather seats. But then heavy salt, man. Heavy salt, and I still get tobacco here. And a note that I brought up with you, there is a mint, and I read on the box afterwards it said eucalyptus, and I do get sort of a watery mint note, which I'm going to say is eucalyptus.
Well, I actually thought about it. I've used Epsom salt that has eucalyptus, like, whatever, and I've never really thought about it.
Another good one.
And that's exactly like kind of what I'm noticing here is, it's like, it's that black licorice, mint, and Epsom salt, I guess, whatever that word was you just used, because I can't even remember it.
Eucalyptus oil?
Eucalyptus, thank you,
Yep.
Not a word I use very often, even though I've read it a million times, but this almost seems like something you should sip in the bathtub.
I mean...
Sit back, soak.
It's an elegant whiskey. It's a very aristocratic whiskey. I mean, there's nothing dirty about it, really. Like, everything's about just clean, button up. I mean, there's high quality materials, it feels like, in this. But very much like an Astin Martin.
Yeah, but you better daggum like black licorice a little bit. Like, if you don't like that note here, it's going to just be a complete zero for you.
You better like Corinthian leather. You better like, you know what I mean?
Like, I agree with all your leather notes, and I think that's actually really good. I actually even get a little bit of, like, when you're putting the shine on your tire.
Yeah, a little bit of tire shine.
I didn't get a little of that kind of going on there. But,
for sure.
But for, like, I'm telling you, though, like, my initial thought is black licorice and mint, and that is such a weird, and I don't know if I like it or not, Mike, because I'm not a big black licorice fan. I'm a huge mint fan.
Oh, I'm not. Huge mint fan, though.
Yeah,
but I'm getting more in the leather notes. But you're right, there's almost border something on a tire rubber too, just slightly.
Yeah, let me get some water in this thing. I gotta see what happens. I'm wondering, maybe we can bring it all together. Maybe they can.
There is a lot going on here.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a little disjointed.
You don't know what's coming. It's like a haunted house. Like you don't know what's around the corner. Is someone jumping out the corner? Is it just a scream? Is it going to be a sound assault?
All right. So in the movie Jaws, there's kind of that famous scene where like the shark comes out and it's that big scare moment, right? And they talked about when they were making that movie that you can only really do that like once, maybe twice in a movie, because after that the audience is deadened to it.
Sure.
And it's like my second taste of this, the shock and like, oh my god, of that mint, leather, anise kind of thing, greatly subdued, and it got more pleasant because you can only shock people once. So I want to see if water brings it down, and we don't get quite that shock again. And maybe it kind of brings us to more of like a mellow experience.
In the immortal words of George H. Herbert Walker Bush, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, the point is you can't be fooled. Still one of my favorite lines ever by a president.
Oh, man.
With water... I mean, it's just elegant leather. Leather cream, leather care.
Beautiful vanilla mint notes.
Mint for sure. Vanilla for sure. I'm almost gonna get a little wisp of milk chocolate now too.
Yeah, I mean it's elegant.
I'll mix my protein powders my way, Optimum Nutrition Gold Standard way. Chocolate with vanilla. Get a little chocolate and vanilla, whey protein.
I mean, even a little bit of new car smell. I hate to keep going back to the car note.
Right.
I mean, it's not
right. It's appropriate.
Like new car, you just took it for a test drive. The dealer didn't come with you, and you tested it properly.
This is the bottle you get when you buy an Astin Martin. If you're going to spend, you spend 6 figures on a car, you get this bottle of whiskey with it. Damn it, I'm having one before I leave, so I'm really going to get into the pedal right here. Hope it isn't snowing.
Wow, this is a unique whiskey.
It is different.
Bowmore's always been unique and different. The difference with this one and the other ones is this is beautiful, and those are not.
The difference between those ones and this one is I like this one.
Yeah.
Period.
Simple. This is good.
Yeah. We find a Bowmore we like.
Yeah, I really like this. This is excellent.
That was too harsh.
It's excellent. Most of the Bowmores I've had, I absolutely just thought were trash.
You remember the Drain Full Port Bowmore?
That one I don't remember. I know I had a taste of that. I don't remember much, but I don't remember being impressed.
You're lucky to be able to forget it.
And I didn't like the Devil's Cask, which I know you liked a lot more than I did.
I did like. It's a simple whiskey.
And I've had the 15 and thought, why did they bottle this? Like, what was the point?
People told me to get to 23. I missed out on it.
Yeah, I mean, this definitely gives me hope for Bowmore.
Yeah, it does.
So, Mike, I'm ready to go. Unless you want to go first.
Whiskey score time, Dustin?
I'm ready, man.
I'm interested to see what you have to say, buddy. Give it to me.
This is an 89, Mike. Mm-hmm. Excellent, top to bottom, easy drinking. Has a nice little surprise, unique flavors, which I really appreciate. Mm-hmm. But it's not special. It's just really nice, well done. I'm super glad to have tried it. I plan to drink this again with you because this is definitely unique, special, different whiskey. But it's just not in the 90s for me. Not enough unique. Not enough like lingering on the finish up front. It is a little too smooth.
Now I tell you what, the chocolate notes along with the tobacco really kind of intermingle. Dustin, you're not wrong. It's an 89. I think initially when we talked, I said it was a 90. Mm-hmm. First time I had the whiskey, I was happy with it. But now that I had a chance, let it open up. This third time I've had it. Focused in on the notes. It's good. 89 is a fair score.
Yeah.
I mean, 90 is a really strong, solid whiskey. So, the $420 mark, I got it about right.
Yeah, I'd like
in this day and age.
In today's market, I'd like to see this a little closer to 3.
Yeah, sure.
But for 300, I think this would be a easy buy. I don't know what the retail on this is. I don't know if you paid a slight premium.
I'm sure I did.
I just don't know when it came out.
Yeah. Well, was it last year's?
I don't know. I mean, I know
it's a recent.
Yeah, I don't know if in other words if it's a restock or if it's the original stock. But
I see what you're saying. Yes. But yeah, no. I mean, good whiskey. I was teetering between an 89 and a 90. If you like leathery whiskeys, which we do. I mean, this is leather, chocolate, salt, salinity, with a few nicer fruits, apples mainly,
and a lot of unique flavors.
Yeah, and some unique flavors. I mean, this is. I remember I was going to buy this, as you remember, or the Clio 24-year-old.
Yeah, and
I was just like, I don't know what Clio is. Could it really be better than the 30 or the 35 or a Port Ellen or what I'm saying? Or you want to try a Bowmore, and let's cross our fingers. Finally, a Bowmore gives us a good whiskey, and it did that.
This is kind of to me like the Macallan Black, the Rare Cask Black, in that it's a different take on a distillery that I like Macallan more than I like Bowmore traditionally.
Agreed.
But I kind of, Macallan is a one-trick pony. It's a little boring, and I've lost a lot of interest in it. But the Black was a slightly peated, different take. Different
whiskey.
This is different than anything else in the core we've had from Bowmore. This is something unique, different, and really good.
Yeah, I would recommend this bottle. This is a darn good. This is a good whiskey. You can tell this had good cask maturation. 51.5% ABV is a good ABV. 22 years old is a good age statement. Nice packaging. And it's the whole package as far as a whiskey. If you're a Bowmore fan, you're going to be impressed with this.
Yes.
Those are our thoughts on whiskey. If you guys had a chance to try this Astin Martin 22-year-old Bowmore, we'd like to know what you guys think. I believe this is the 2023 bottling. Don't hang me on that if that's not the case. I'm close. I promise you. If you guys can try this one, I'd like to know what you guys think. Dustin, until next time, we'll wish the folks.
Happy drinking.
We'll see you then.